Welcome back. We are holding now on the bottom line of Daf Yud Tes Amud Beis. So it says by Kiddush, L'haktir Isheh, to smoke up the fire offering. You know, it's to smoke up the sacrificial portions. So Lamali, why do we need to say that needs Kiddush Yadayim Raglayim? Oh, there's a very good reason. As we start, and here Mark will be happy, a nice stout blot, says the Gemara, Mao the same, Hani Mili avoided the mak for kapar. Where do you need Kiddush Yadayim Raglayim by an avoider that invalidates the kapara? Now, smoking up the sacrificial fats is not mak of the kapara. Aval avoided loy mak for kapara loy. I might think if you come to do it, you don't have to do Kiddush Yadayim Raglayim. Kamash Malan. He said in the name of Rabbi Yochanan, Boi Ilfa. Ilfa inquired. L'divrei ha'omer ein lina my eles b'kiddush yadayim raglayim. According to the man Yamada, it says passing through the night does not affect your status, and even though you're going into the next day, you don't have to do Kiddush Yadayim Raglayim. Make kir, the water of the kir, maushi yifsalu. If it's left overnight, does it become disqualified? Normally, that which is left overnight, let's say Herschel has some blood in a clay sharis, if it's left overnight, it becomes disqualified with lina. Now, the kir is a clay sharis. Does that mean that if the water is left in the clay sharis, it's disqualified overnight? So says again, Rabbi said you have to be careful about muting yourself. Okay, now, says the Gemara, so make kir maushi yifsalu. Does the water of the kir disqualify, does it get disqualified if it was left overnight? Do we say, mi amrinon, what's the purpose of the water? Hani lamai l'kiddush yadayim raglayim. If Kiddush Yadayim Raglayim is not disqualified overnight, Kiddush Yadayim Raglayim, gufayu loy possible, they're not disqualified overnight, loy pasulina, so therefore the water will also not be disqualified. O Dilma, cave in the Kaddish Lu b'klei sharis, since the kir is a clay sharis and it's sanctified in the clay sharis, mifsalei, it becomes puzzle. So ki asa Rav and Amar Rav Yirmiyah, Amar Rav Ami, Amar Rav Yochanan, Hadar Pashid Ilfa, Kamachloikis Bezu, Kach Machloikis Bezu. The one that says that you need to have it the next day, again, he holds the water is disqualified. The one that says you don't need to have it the next day, he holds the water is not disqualified. Amr Lefan of Rabbi Yitzchak Bar Bisna, Rabbi Ata Oimerke? Do you say this? Alahachar Amr Ravasi, Amr Rabbi Yochanan, Mishmei de Ilfa, Kir shaloi shaku mi be'erev. You see, what they did is they lowered the kir down to the water table under the ground. Now, once it gets connected to the water under the ground, that water is considered mechubal karka, and that which is mechubal karka doesn't get disqualified. So that's what they would do. We'll see that they manufactured a wheel and they lowered the kir down under the ground until the water got connected to the water table under the ground. And then it didn't become disqualified. But it says, kir shaloi shaku mi be'erev, if they didn't lower it down, mekadosh mimenu la'avodas laila, they could use it in the night, but u'lamacher eina mekadosh. So the Gemara says, V'avina ba l'macher eina mekadosh? Does it mean that you don't need to? The loy tzarech l'kadosh? Or dilma ifsalu belina? Or is it that you can't use it because it's possible lina? V'loy pashat lan. And we didn't resolve what the pshat was. Umarka pashat le mifshat. And you're resolving it. You're saying that one who holds that it's disqualified, the water becomes disqualified. One who holds it's not, the water doesn't become disqualified. Says the Gemara, Tajma. Ben Cotton Asa Shnayim Eser Dad Lakir, like I told Berish. Ben Cotton made 12 faucets for the kiyah, so 12 kahanim could use it at the same time, because that was what was needed for the Tamid Shel Shachris. Afu asa muchne lekir, a wheel for the kiyah, shelo yumeimav nifsalim belina. Now, my love, this is going even according to Rabbi Elazar Reb Shimon, who holds that Kiddush Daim Raglaim is not necessary the next day, and even so, the water becomes disqualified. Says, well, Loi Rebbe, maybe it's only going according to Rebbe. No, it's according to Rebbe that you need it the next day, the water becomes disqualified. According to Rabbi Elazar Reb Shimon, just like his hands are not nifsal belina, the water is also not nifsal belina. But says the Gemara, how could you say that this is Rebbe? V'hamidareisha Rabbi Elazar Reb Shimon, since the first teaching of this Mishnah is Rabbi Elazar Reb Shimon, Sefer Nami Rabbi Elazar Reb Shimon. The Sefer is also Rabbi Elazar Reb Shimon. How do we know that the first teaching is Rabbi Elazar Reb Shimon? So let me give you a little bit of a word picture over here, so it doesn't come difficult to understand. The to the left of the Azara is the south. The right is the north. Now, we know that the shechita in the Azara has to be on the north. The question is, what's considered the north? So, one opinion is that it's the northern part of the Azara starts from the second wall, the far wall. There's the ramp, the first wall of the Mizbech, then there's the back wall of the Mizbech. The back wall of the Mizbech starts the north. And one opinion holds that when it says that the shechita has to be on the north, it means from the width of that wall of the Mizbeach all the way till the wall of the Azara, but only parallel the wall of the Mizbeach. Only that is north. Rabbi Yossi Reb Shimon says north is also beyond the Mizbeach, from the area between the Ulam, the antechamber, and the Mizbeach until the end of the Azara is also north. And then you have Rebbe. Rebbe says the whole area of the north of the Azara is north. Even before the Mizbeach, in the place of the Drisas Kahanim and the Drisas Yisrael, that area of north you could also shecht the Kachei Kachim. That's also north. So the Gemara is going to show that the Reisha of this Mishnah seems to be only going according to Rabbi Elazar Reb Shimon. Says the Gemara, as it says, the Ketani Reisha, Boloi Eitzel Paroi, on Yom Kippur, the Kohen Gadol comes to his par, the par shel Kohen Gadol, Upara Ya'oimed Beina Ulam Ulam Mizbeach, the par stood beyond the Mizbech, more closer to the Beis Hamikdash, the Ulam. It stood between the Ulam and the Mizbech. Roishai L'Darim, its head was to the south, turned to the west, Upanav Lamarv. In other words, the animal was facing with its rump to the north, its head to the south, and the head was turned towards the Beis Hamikdash to the west. The Kohen was standing on the east, Upanav Lamar, facing the west, to do the shechita on the bull. Now, Man Shematle de Amar Beina Ulam and Mizbech Tzafin, who says that the area of Tzafin is not just parallel to the back wall of the Mizbech, but also includes the area between the Mizbeach and the Ulam? Rabbi Elazar Reb Shimon. The Tanya, we have three opinions. Ezo Tzafin, what constitutes the north? Mikir Mizbeach Tzafaini Vad Kaisel Azara Tzafaini. From the wall the back wall of the Mizbeach till the end of the Azara, the northern wall of the Azara, or Keneged Kol HaMizbeach Kulei, paralleling the width of the Mizbeach, that's Safin. That's the opinion of Rabbi Yosef Yehuda. Rabbi Elazar, Rabbi Shimon also adds the area between the Ulam and the Mizbeach. Rabbi Elazar, Rabbi Shimon, Ma'asav Af Bein Ulam and Mizbeach. The area further past the Mizbeach, paralleling towards the north, the area between the Ulam and the Mizbeach. Rabbi says even before the Mizbeach on the northern side, Af Mekayim Drisis Raglei HaKahanim, Mekayim Drisis Raglei Yisrael, even the place where the Kohanim and the Yisraelim walk. Aval Min HaChalifa Yisrael Lefnim, but inside the Ulam, where they stored the knives, you can't shecht a carbon there. Hakol Moedim Shepasim. So the Chayra, that which it says Bein Ulam LeMizbeach, is only according to Rabbi Yosef Rabbi Yehuda. So the Gemara says, I don't understand. Rebbe holds you could do it all the way in the area where the Kohanim and the Yisrael walk. He'll hold also that you could do it close to the Mizbeach too. V'tizra of Lezer Reb Shimon who he v'loy Rebbe. Hashda Rebbe holds that it doesn't have to parallel the Mizbeach. Ad Rabbi Yosef Rabbi Yehuda Ma'asav, he adds that it doesn't have to parallel the Mizbeach. It could even be before, in the area of where the Kohanim and Yisrael walk, as long as it's on the north. Ad Rabbi Elazar Reb Shimon loy Ma'asav. He doesn't add on Rabbi Elazar Reb Shimon. In other words, he doesn't agree with Rabbi Elazar Reb Shimon that it could also be in the holy place between the Ulam and the Mizbeach. Says no, Anan Haki Kamrina. Isol Kedaitach Rebbe he. If it's going according to Rebbe, why would you shecht it all the way by the Bein Ulam and Mizbeach? It's not nice to shecht right in front of the Beis Hamikdash. Look on b'makom drisis raglei Kohanim, b'makom drisis raglei Yisrael. Do it all the way further where the Kohanim and Yisrael work. Why shecht right by the door of the Mizbeach of the Beis Hamikdash complex? It's not nice. Elamai says Gemara Rabbi Elazar Reb Shimon. Why shecht it between the Ulam and the Mizbeach? Do it opposite the Mizbeach. Look, Mekir Mizbeach Tzfayni Ad Kaisel Azar Tzfayni. Do it parallel the Mizbeach. Says Gemara, but it must be that we don't want to do it far away, because all the avodah has to be done by the Kohen Gadol, and he's fasting, and he's going to have to afterwards go into the Beis Hamikdash. So we want to do it near the Beis Hamikdash. Elamai Yisach L'Mei Mishum Chol Shel the Kohen Gadol. So Achanami, it could be going according to Rebbe, and he didn't do it in the place of the Drisis Raglei Kohanim and Raglei Yisrael Mishum Chol Shel the Kohen Gadol. So it's no raya and no kasha that has to be going according to Rabbi Elazar Reb Shimon. Now, 2 dots, 7 lines from the bottom. Just getting underway over here on a beautiful Matzah Shabbos. Just kidding. We're not just getting underway. We're almost finished. But we're just getting underway because we have a special share in honor of Mark's father. Very special share. Amar Rabbi Yochanan. Kidesh Yodav V'Ragel of L'Trumas Hadeshin. Okay, Yitzi is our Kohen, our resident Kohen. So, is Yitzi here?
I'll step in. I'm the other Yitzi.
Okay. Yitzi, are you a Kohen? No. But okay. So, Yitzi will step in. So Kidesh Yodav V'Ragel of L'Trumas Hadeshin. So let's say Yitzi, learning Daf 2100, not bad, 2100 black. You know, Barry would say that's 100 times 21. Says the Gemara. So let's say Kiddush Yodav V'Ragel of the Trumas Hadeshin. Now Trumas Hadeshin was done before dawn by the Krois HaGever, by the crow of the rooster. L'macher eino tzarech l'kaddish. He doesn't have to do it again when dawn rises. Shekfar Kiddush mitchilas avodah. Says Gemara Laman, who is it going like? Ela Rebbe, he says the new day you have to do Kiddush Yadayim Reglayim. Ha'ama Pasalina. And Ela Rebbe Lazar Reb Shimon, he holds that as long as you're occupied in the Avodah, you don't have to do it even if it wasn't Trumas Hadeshin. Ha'ama Ein Tzach L'Kadesh, Afilu Mekan V'ad Asar Yamim. So the Gemara says no. You see, it's going according to Rebbe that night passes. But the night only passes midrabanan. And therefore, if it's so close to day, by Kreis HaGever, by the crow of the rooster, even Rebbe agrees that it doesn't pass. Rabbi Lo'ilam Rebbe, Volina drabanani, since Lina is only rabbinical, Omaydi the Kreis HaGever Vad Safra, that for that short amount of time, from the crow of the rooster until dawn, Loi Pasalina. Rav Amar Lo'ilam Rabbi Lazar Reb Shimon. However, Rabbi Yochanan holds that Rabbi Lazar Reb Shimon is right if you did Kiddush Yadayim Raglayim by Avodah, you don't.
Well, Yaakov, since I was interrupted.
We're holding 3 lines from the bottom of Daf Chaf Amud Aleph.
Sorry, I'm mute myself.
Rav Amar, Rav says, La'ilam Rabbi Lazar Reb Shimon. It's going according to Rabbi Lazar Reb Shimon. But Rabbi Yochanan holds that where don't you have to do from night to day a new Kiddush Yadayim Raglayim? That's only if you did a Kiddush Yadayim Raglayim at the beginning of an Avodah. Like Trumas Hadeshin, removing the ash is the beginning of the Avodah of the day. But if you did Aktoras Eivarim Updarim, which is an end of an Avodah, then he holds you have to do another Kiddush Yadayim Raglayim. V'ra Rabbi Yochanan Dvarav B'tchilas Avodah, only in the beginning of an Avodah, v'loi b'seif Avodah. So now the Gemara asks, Meisvei, Re'u Achiv HaKohanim Sheyorad. When the other Kohanim saw that the Kohen came down from doing the Trumas Hadeshin, he put the ash to the east of the Mizbech, and it miraculously absorbed into the ground. It was one of the great miracles that happened daily in the Beis Hamikdash. So Hein Ratzu, the rest of them ran, Ubo, Miyaru v'kitchi Yadayim Raglayim and Akir. Now, it wasn't dawn yet. So Bishleima, it's good according to Bishleima Labaya, the Mukim Rebbe, but Umaydi Rebbe, the Mikrais HaGever At Safrali Paslalina, so that it's no problem that they could do it even though it was before dawn, because at that short amount of time it doesn't passel. Hamani Rebbe. El Rav the Mukim La Rebbe Lazar Reb Shimon, but Aval Rebbe, but according to Rebbe, Mikrais HaGever At Safra Paslalina, it disqualifies Hamani. Rebbe, if it's going according to Rebbe, it doesn't help to do it now. It's before dawn. Pasalina. And Rebbe Lazar Reb Shimon, if it's going according to Rebbe Lazar Reb Shimon, they don't have to do it because they're in the middle of doing the Avodah. Why do they have to? We assume that they were working in the night, so why did they have to do it? Says the Gemara, you're right. Rebbe Lazar Reb Shimon. But these were Kohanim that just started working now. They weren't working in the night. That weren't working in the night. Let's bring in somebody here.
We have the whole state of when they bring a commercial sedition outside the camp. Why do you have that if it gets absorbed?
What? Different. There's different deshin. This was a ceremonial Trumas Hadeshin. Then there's the whole tapuach on the mizbeach that they brought out of the camp. No. Now, okay, back to 30 Zoomers over here. As we welcome in Yitzi Fuchs, we welcome in Chaim. What a wonderful time to learn. These are very special days, And we learned to be Mekayim the mitzvah v'dibar tabam. Lastly, snachas ruach liyotzrein. Remember, Rabbi Isai, Mirz Hashem, something to look forward to tomorrow night at 8 o'clock, 2 blot, so that we get ahead for Sukkot. Now, Ibayalahu. What happens if you go outside of the Beis Hamikdash? Are you possible b'yotzei? Do you need to be Mekadosh Yadayim Raglayim again? Ibayalu, Yetzia Mao Shitol B'Kiddush Yadayim Raglayim. Im Timtza Loima Lina Loi Pasla, that Lina being left overnight doesn't pass. That's the Loi Parish, that's because you didn't leave. Aval Yetzia the Parish, but when you go out of the Beis Hamikdash, Asuche Masach Daite, you were distracted and you need to wash your hands again. Dilma came to be Adai Lasa, since you are able to come back, you were planning to come back, Loi Masach, you don't distract yourself, and you don't have to do it. So Tajma.
Is he allowed to leave with Begadim?
Huh?
He's allowed to leave the Beis Hamikdash with the Arba Begadim?
Well, it depends why he's leaving. Depends why he's leaving. So if he left in order to, let's say, maybe take a small snack outside or something, maybe he would be allowed to, because he's going right back to do the avodah. Tajma, kidesh yoda v'raglav, if he sanctified his hands and feet, v'nitmu, and the hands became tamei. Now, how do hands become tummy? The implication is only the hands became tummy. His body didn't become tummy. There's certain tumah drabanan. Like, for example, if you touch pigel or nicer, your hands become tummy. So, kiddush yadav v'raglav v'nitmu, matbilin, you could dip the hands in water, ve'ein tzarich lekadesh. Yatsu, if they're taken out, hariyein b'kedushas. So the Gemara says, yes, there it's talking about where you just stuck your hands out. Where you stuck your hands out, you don't have to do it again. Yatsu yadav loikam abaylan. Ki kamabaylan, our shaila is yatsu kol gufaymai. What if you go out entirely? So Tajma, shaloi rechutz yadayim raglayim. Let's say, Yitzi, and now we have Yitzi Fuchs here, I think. Yeah, so our resident Kayin. We were looking for a Kayin before Yitzi.
I had Mark right before I had to leave.
Yeah, okay, right. You anointed him. Yeah. Mark was a Kayin for a day.
I've been a Kohen my whole life. I'm back to being Israel. Feels good, it's okay.
Okay, easy come, easy go. So Tajma, shaloi rechutz yadayim raglayim. If Yitzi didn't wash his hands and his feet, mekadesh b'klei sharis b'fnim. Even if he can't get to the kiyah is very crowded, he could take a klei sharis, any ministering vessel, and mekadesh b'klei sharis b'fnim. However, kiddush b'klei sharis b'chutz, if it's a chevraman, and he used the klei sharis on the outside, or b'klei chol b'fnim, or a klei chol on the inside, or even if he just went and was toivel in a meimara, he was toivel in a mikvah of water, oy shetovel b'meimara v'ovad avidas psula. It has to be sanctification from a klei sharis. Now the implication is taima the kaddish b'klei sharis b'chutz. It's only because he was mekadosh with the klei sharis on the outside. Ha kiddush b'fnim b'yatza avidas ksheira. Because if sticking your hands outside disqualifies, I mean, if walking outside disqualifies, then obviously being mekadosh with a klei sharis on the outside is no good. You're outside. So the implication is only being mekadosh with the klei sharis on the outside is no good. But if you did it on the inside and you walked outside, it is good. So the Gemara says, no, maybe that's not pshat. Dilma Kiddush b'klei shoris b'chutz hechidami. What's the Kiddush where you're Mekadosh with the clay shoris on the outside, where you were standing inside and stuck your hands outside? Can go in the apik yod of levar b'kiddush. That's no good. Even though you were standing inside, but if you're Mekadosh with a clay shoris on the outside, it's no good. Ha-kiddush b'fnim v'yotza. But if you were Mekadosh on the inside and just stuck out your hand, that is ksher. But if you go out entirely, still tibayilach. Still we have a shayim. So Amalei Rav Zvid Rab Papa Tajma. Yotza chutz mechitzas chaimes azara. If you went outside of the azara, im lishais, if you were planning to spend a while outside, turn tefillah. V'im lefi shah, but if for a short amount of time, turn kiddush yadayim reglaim. So here it's kind of clear that you need kiddush yadayim reglaim if you go outside. Says Gemara, no, it's talking about if you went out to move your bowels, you need tefillah. If you went out to urinate, you need kiddush yadayim reglaim. So it's telling you if you went to move your bowels, you need tefillah. If you went to urinate, you need kiddush yadayim reglaim. Says Gemara, habahed yuktanila. That we learned beferish. Kol hameisik raglav. If you move your bowels, turn tefillah. V'kol hamatalmayim. If you urinate, turn kiddush yadayim reglaim. Says Gemara, you're right. It's just a review. Tani v'hadim mefarish. Tajma. Para, the paraduma, the red cow. Now there's no avoid inside the base Mikdash. So Rabbi Chia by Yosef Amar Mekadosh b'klei sharis b'fnim. Now the paraduma is done outside, right? The paraduma is done by Harazesim. There's a pit by Harazesim, but Rabbi Chia by Yosef Amar Mekadosh b'klei sharis b'fnim. He's a Mekadosh in the clay sharis on the inside, v'yotze, and then he goes outside to the Harazesim. Reb Yochanan Amar afilu b'chutz, he could be Mekadosh even on the outside, v'afilu b'klei chol, even with a not a clay sharis, v'afilu b'mekedesh shel cheres, even with an unseemly earthenware vessel. So, but according to the first Tana, you see that you're Mekadosh and you go outside. So you see that outside doesn't disqualify. So Gemara says, no, Raya, Amar Papa Shani Para, the Kol Maaseh b'chutz. Since everything is done on the outside, that's why lo possible Yitzia. So the Gemara says, so then why do you have to do it inside? Yaki Lamali the Mikdash. So the Gemara says that's a higher standard Kain Avodah Pnim. To do it like it was an inside Avodah. Ibayelu. Tuma Mao Shetoya L'Kiddush Yadayim Raglayim. Ooh, interesting question. Let's say you become tummy. So you have to go to the mikveh. But you also have to be Mekadosh Yadayim Raglayim again. Imtim Tzaloyma Yitzi Aloi Pasla. That going out doesn't pass. Why? The Gavra Chazi. Avalacha, where you become tummy, the Gavra Loi Chazi. It's considered a distraction, and you have to do besides mikveh, you have to do kiddush yadayim reglaim from the kiyah. Since you know that you're going to go to mikveh and you're going to be fit, dakla, you're careful. Tajma kiddush yadav ragla v'nitmu matbilan yitayvel ve'ain tzarich l'kaddish. So the Gemara says, no, that's different. There it's talking about where the hands become tummy. Like you touched pig of an icer. Yadav loy mebaylan, ki mebaylan nitma kol gufay. Says, but I understand. If your whole body becomes tummy, even after you go to the mikveh, you need herav shemesh. You need to wait till the sun sets. So then you're definitely going to be masiach das. Kol gufay tefik like came in the baylam evet herav shemesh. You need to wait until the sun sets. For sure, Asukhe Masach Taite. Says, no, the Shali is where Yitzi became Tomei right before nightfall. Says the Gemara, so there isn't a lot of time to be Mesiach Das. What's the din? Okay, we're going to stop over here, Rabbi Isai. And now, for those that heard me on Shabbos, this is a little bit review. There's new stuff too, but it's a little review. But if not, it's not a long share, but it's a very worthwhile share to hear.